Welcome back, and today we're talking about the day I became a god, episode 10. So, like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 10 of the day I became a god. We see for the first time an episode where Hina is not in it. Well, at the very least, not for the first half. And I have to say, the episode definitely felt a lot darker, a lot grayer. I don't know if they messed with the colors, but I feel like when Hina was on screen, when Hina was around in the anime, everything felt more colorful. So I don't know if they did this on purpose, or maybe my eyes are deceiving me, or maybe like Yota, I am feeling empty inside because I knew this episode was going to hit hard. It wasn't hard enough to make me cry, but I definitely did feel the emotions because seeing Hina the way she was later in the episode, it was rough. Now, before we jump into the rest of the episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out. But let's talk about the day I became a god, because this episode, I already know the next two episodes is going to be rough, and I do have a dark, probably really dark theory as to what's going to happen, and I hope it's not true. I hope I am 100% wrong. But let's talk about the episode. Essentially, it starts off with Yota. You know, his kind of time is flowing by. Time is not stopping. We know time never stops. So Hina is not part of his life. We do see that Yota is definitely down. He's not as happy as he was when Hina was around, right? That's an unforgettable summer that he had. And he's, you know, distributing missing persons posters. They are trying to look for Hina. But when you're going against the government, especially like a world government where the whole world essentially approved removing the ship out of Hina's head, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win. You're not going to stop that, right? It's just not possible unless you have superpowers, right? So it was really sad not having Hina for the first half of the episode. And I have to say, when I saw Hiroto come into the episode, I was actually kind of happy because I was like, oh, is he going to be on our side? Because I think he does have the power to actually help. And honestly, I was kind of hoping that we would get there in time to stop the operation, but that was not the case. I mean, it was really unrealistic to think that they were going to stop the operation for months. They were going to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry, and that's exactly what happened. But seeing Hiroto definitely gave me some hope, and he was helping Yota out. I mean, he did try to recreate every moment that he had with Hina, just to get him to remember, right? Just to get him to know that Hiroto in some way, somehow was involved with everything. Because really the contract that he had, he couldn't outright say that he was involved with Hina and everything that happened throughout the summer. So that was awesome. Yota, of course, was able to figure it out with great help. I mean, he was really clueless for a lot of the time. I mean, I knew it was obvious, right, that Hiroto was trying to recreate everything. It was pretty obvious. But of course, we don't understand where Yota's head is at, right? He just lost somebody very important to him. So I can't say that I'm in the same state of mind that he was. So maybe all those different hints just kind of went over his head because he wasn't really thinking about it, right? Everything that was in his mind was Hina. And heck, even when they brought up the movie, and you know, we see the same situation, right, where Izanami's father, he didn't want to look at the tapes that his wife left for him. He didn't want to look at the last tape because that would be the end of the story, right, for his wife, right? So he didn't want to do that. And we're seeing the same thing with Yota. He doesn't want to look at the movie because he doesn't want to, you know, be hurt again. He doesn't want to be reminded of Hina, especially when they don't even know where she's at and stuff like that. So we actually don't know his state of mind. We do know that he's hurting. We do know that he feels empty inside, right? I mean, he's over here with all his friends, playing Monopoly, playing board games, having fun, what looks to be fun, but he's not really having fun. He just feels empty inside. So I can kind of see why he missed all those different hints. And I have to say, Hiroto definitely came in with the clutch. He managed to, I guess he hacked his way in to the facility that Hina is in. And it's like a rehab facility, right? We see other kids in there that have missing limbs. They're kind of doing their working out so they can learn how to walk again, all that stuff, you know, your typical rehab stuff. And Hina is here because it seems like she has some trauma. She seems to be afraid of men. So Hiroto being able to get Yota in there for 2 weeks. That's the max amount of time he was able to get in. So Yota is gonna have 2 weeks to convince Hina to, you know, be safe around him, to feel comfortable around Yota, so he can take her back home with him. So that's gonna be like the next 2 episodes. That's what's going to happen. So I don't think she's going to get her ship back. I do think by episode 12 she is going to pass away. And here's where my dark theory comes in, right? We know that Yota has 2 weeks, and remember what the father said, right? Now Hina's father abandoned her because there was no cure for her what is it, Logos syndrome, and she's going through that once again. So she is going to pass away. I don't think she's gonna get that ship back. So I do think Hina is going to pass away. And my theory is that the same thing is going to happen again. And I hope that doesn't happen. Oh man, it's gonna be so hard. If just imagine if Yota can handle the pressure, can handle the emotional side of this thing, seeing somebody that you love going through what she's going, and he leaves. Just imagine that. And we see Hina pass away alone by herself, scared. Hopefully that does not happen, but if it does, I can just see how this will be like one of the saddest moments in anime. Probably not like top 10, but it will be pretty sad, because you know it has been hinted at. That's why the father left her. So I hopefully Yota takes care of Hina a lot more than her father did. I was angry with the father. I definitely lost all respect for the father, because how are you gonna live? How are you gonna leave your dying child behind and just ignore that responsibility? I mean, that was messed up. If it wasn't for that doctor that took her in, her grandfather, and you know, put that ship inside of her, like Hina would have died alone, and that's messed up on the father's side. So I really do hope that Yota definitely has more, you know, more than Hina's father, because that dude is definitely the worst thing ever. So that's my theory, that Yota will not be able to handle this, and he's going to leave her by herself, and she's gonna pass away alone. Hopefully that does not happen. I hope I'm wrong about this one, but we'll see where it goes. I do think this next 2 episodes are going to be very, very hard. I also felt very frustrated with Yota, because he knew that him screaming, being loud, and that, you know, Hina is afraid of men, he was still screaming. Like, I was just frustrated. I was like, bro, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, just shut up. You don't need to be screaming right now, especially when Hina is there. And I mean, seeing Hina just laying on the bed, like the way she was, I honestly thought she was like a vegetable, but no, it seems like she can move around. But again, her logo syndrome is pretty much guaranteed to come back. So she is going to start losing all those muscle movements and stuff like that. So that's going to be rough to look at as well. I mean, just seeing her with the short hair, because she was bald, it was just messed up. It was just messed up. I really, especially after we had like 9 great episodes with Hina, seeing her happy and seeing her like this now, it's really sad. I hope this anime gets a happy ending, but I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I really do think we are going to lose Hina forever. And it's really up to Yota to make sure that it's the best way possible and not the worst way possible. So we'll see where it goes. 2 episodes left in this anime. I cannot wait to see those. I'm really excited for the next 2 episodes. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think something dark is going to happen? How do you think this anime is going to end? Let me know in the comments. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.